And I want to thank all my new subscribers. I've gained quite a few, and I want to thank you for coming to the Smuggler's Cantina. I am your Wookiee Wrangler, your Chaos Coordinator, your Scoundrel Scheduler, and I do run this place. And I was busy watching Midnight's Edge, and they were going to go to talking about Black Superman, which I'm not a comic book person. I'm not into DC Comics at all. I mean, I've said before, my last favorite truly superhero film was Superman 2 with Christopher Reeve. And I did also enjoy The Dark Knight. But other than that, I'm like, you know, I'm here for Star Wars. That's why I'm here. So, anyway, I want to talk a little bit about Bill Burr today and get more on that rumor about the March 9th meeting. If you go, first off, Bill Burr has a channel here, so you might want to go watch it. The guys at Midnight's Edge have a video talking about it. And I've got a theory about this. He knows they're going after her. They're going after him. He made mention in another podcast about a good friend who got canceled and how upset he was. Bill Burr is a comedian. As a comedian, he should be allowed to say whatever he wants. Now, Bill Burr, of all people, has to watch what he says. This isn't right, folks. This isn't good. But I also think he's protecting Jon Favreau. I think there's something deeper going on with this. I said my video that I just posted, Wolves of Wall Street approach, that there's something going on. I think Favreau, I think, sees it for what it is. I think the Bobs do. I think, and I bet a grand that John has talked to Gina. I'm going to make a prediction right now. Next year, Gina will be back with The Mandalorian, with their own show. I really do believe that. I think what happened to her was so insidious. I do believe somebody at Luke is somebody involved with Star Wars. I really do believe whoever it was, my money's on Jon Favreau, said either clean up Lucasfilm or I'm gone. You know, and I do believe it all came out. I do believe that Kathleen Kennedy gave her marching orders to Pablo, to Matt Martin, to Christina Hidalgo, Pablo's icky little wife, and others to rattle the mob. I'm actually going to posit this, that Twitter account Shitty Star Wars Takes is a Lucasfilm employee. All right, now I know people kind of think about who's behind it, but I bet any money that whoever runs that, because a ton of Lucasfilm employees follow it and they all like it, I'll bet you $1,000 that's a Lucasfilm employee. And that person is one of the people that needs to go too. Okay. What I think is going on is that the powers that be are putting all their, crossing their T's, dotting their I's, getting all their ducks in a row. Again, my opinion is this. Kennedy isn't in hiding because she's getting hate mail. I mean, it was literally 2 days, I think it was like 2 days after Gina was told she was not coming back to Star Wars. It's a little bit, her quote unquote firing was a little bit different than being fired. Like if you work for Kmart, well, what'd you do that for? You're fired. All right. And they are contractually obligated to her, and I'm pretty sure to Kennedy. I'm pretty sure that the whole thing about Kennedy going in hiding because I hate mail is bullshit. Okay. If you're an American citizen, and this is for my friends in Australia, my friends in England, you put something in the mail, and it takes a good week, 2 weeks to get there. Oh, me too, Cinna Dave. So her saying she was getting kitty litter in the mail, Kathleen might as well change her last name to Smollett. Okay, that's bullshit. If that rumor is true that somebody said that and she's trying to say that she's been getting hate mail, bullshit. And I'm pretty sure, powers that be, her bosses, because Kathleen Kennedy does answer to people, all right? The Bobs and the investors, okay? And probably Alan Braverman and a couple other people, okay? I am sure that they know that that's a lie. If she's telling people I'm getting hate mail, I'm pretty sure they know it's a lie. She could be now. Here's the deal about this. This fucking thing's been going on for almost 3 weeks now. Gina is not doing any interviews. Okay, she's laying low. You got Bill Burr tamping down any discussion of what happened, showing sadness and I think a little bit of fear, and which is bullshit. He shouldn't have to feel that. Rosario Dawson hasn't said anything. These guys are being quiet for a reason, because there's shit going down. Okay, it's partially to protect themselves, partially to protect Favreau and Filoni, and partially because they were probably told by other people, just don't say anything. There's stuff going on. You guys don't need to say a word. Just let it play out. Okay. Who might that be? It might be somebody named Bob Iger saying that. It might be somebody else. But they're there protecting Favreau too, which is a good thing. I mean, Gina protected him. I'd like to know who. Yeah, you did. He said that. Now I got to watch what I say. You know, I find it interesting, though, that, you know, Gina's interviews probably has millions of views now, right? Far blowing away anything on the Star Wars channel, by the way. I find it interesting that she hasn't had another interview, that people haven't talked to her. The 2 hit pieces that came out, another 3 actually, were lame as fuck. There's nothing there. I mean, the last 2 are trying to surmise that her family's corrupt and or La Cosa Nostra, which is like, wow, you want to talk about bigotry and racism? She's Italian, therefore her dad's a mob boss? What the actual fuck? You know, it's like, no. No. Hell to the no. You know, but that's as lame, that's it, that's all they got. That's all I got. So let's go. She's being silent. Favreau hasn't said a word. He can't. And even if he could, he wouldn't. People are like, well, where is he? Well, I'm going to cancel blah, 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 because he didn't say anything. Do you know how stupid you sound when you say stuff like that? This is a delicate situation, all right, that's blown up in his enemy's face. Let me explain something for all of you little people out there who immediately react. Never get in your enemy's way when they're making a mistake. And that's exactly what staying silent means. Don't. I know New York. I know New York Yanks. I know. I mean, that's why he's not saying anything. Let it blow up in Kathy's face. Okay. I posted a super chat to the guys at Midnight's Edge, basically saying Kathy's a phony. She's never, and read between the lines, she's never done a goddamn thing that was on her own that was any good. It was always with John Milius and Steven Spielberg and George Lucas and Robert Zemeckis and Clint Eastwood. She's never done anything on her own. She's not creative. You got this Momita Sengupta, who back in the day did did the reality stuff for MTV, which, yeah, yeah, just, you know, but, Disney wanted her for a reason. And I do believe that I don't think Kennedy hired her. Kennedy hired her. The Bobs hired her. All right. Kennedy is lashing out at somebody, and not just Favreau. Ultimately, he is her target, but she's got other targets, the Bobs. Now, does she have blackmail stuff? Well, from what Rob Amenetzech said, she came in from the production side. So really, she probably doesn't know a lot of stuff. You hear rumors and stuff like that, but I think what she's got or had. Yeah, I mean, honestly, you could be right, Paul. I mean, this stuff that we've been discussing is days and days old, weeks old. Okay, in fact, we don't know what's going on now. All I know is that Deborah Young in the Echo Base chat said she had heard, and I've got feelers out for this, that the Bobs want Kennedy to address Blackrock, State Street, and Vanguard at the big meeting. And I mean, who else could be there? You know, J.P. Morgan Chase, Goldman Sachs, maybe Bear Stearns. I don't know. And these guys are piranhas. I looked up the CEO of Blackrock. His name is Lawrence Fink. He's a billionaire. He got his, let me see if I can find it. He got his MBA, I think, at this thing. I tell you, man, I don't understand it. I have an Apple computer, and it's like, I feel like I'm retarded half the time with it. He got his MBA at, I think, USC. Lawrence Fink. We'll find it. Let's look this up. This guy is he is education. He went to the UCLA Graduate School of Management in 1976. He is now the CEO of Blackrock, and it's the largest money management firm in the world. Here, I'll show you. The other two guys, Ron O'Hanley of State Street, and Mortimer Buckley from Vanguard, are Harvard MBAs. I was just waiting for a Wharton School MBA or a London School of Economics MBA to show up, just to, bookend the holy shit. Okay, these guys are serious. These guys are basically mob bosses doing things, I guess I'm going to say semi-legally. They're legit, okay? They are very serious. And if you go, let's get in your Wayback Machine. Let's go back to Doomcock. Doomcock said somebody from one of the investors or money guys will say, maybe the CEO of Blackrock, maybe one of his young guns, maybe the State Street guy, one of his young guns, maybe one of Buckley's young guns. Anyway, big money dude showed up at Skywalker Ranch and said, basically, but talking, was looking around, not a happy camper, and said, I've heard that there's a Abrams Lucas cut. I'd like to see it. Well, yes, sir, there are. Well, let me see it. Sat down and watched it. Got up in silence. walked around for a little bit, and then all hell broke loose. Okay, I'm going to give you a timeline. Then Kathy was told to show up with all of her stuff. Then at the Investors Day thing in December, she only really had 2 things that she was doing with no budget at all. And the High Republic Initiative, which is a fucking total disaster. All right, then Skywalker shows up in Mandalorian and kicks the shit out of everybody. All right, and then Pablo says something stupid, and it's not Lucasfilm that said apologize now. It was Disney who said apologize now. Then they whine about High Republic not getting received well. And this is, I mean, literally, this was, they think, the direction they so wanted Star Wars to go into. You know, and I find it fascinating how many people, I mean, you know, how many shills out there actually think it's good. I mean, how much money does Kennedy have to spread around, or perks does she have to spread around? What goodie bags? I'm serious, because I'm speechless. This is not good stuff. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm not going to compromise my integrity by saying Avar Kriss is so great. She's better than Luke Skywalker. I'm not going to say that. But I'm not Molly. I'm not Molly What's-Her-Face from Star Wars Explained. I'm not an idiot, okay? I'm literally like, what? You know, I can't fathom the brain power behind this, but behind Kennedy's movement here. So these people who I really do believe are on thin ice, because the guys are talking, if Kennedy goes, they're all gone, all of them. And Disney's not an easy company to work for if you have opinions that are common sense either. I mean, they put that new board up there, and they're like saying that the Muppets are offensive. What the fuck? The Muppets? I'm sorry, but you lost me, dudes. I'm really sorry. You know, that's what's offensive is not the Muppets. It's the idiots that say it's offensive. Okay. Anyway, what else? It's so Disney's a tough company to work for, but Kennedy, if she goes and is forced out, it may be a signal that a lot of this shit is going to end, because she was one of the leading proponents of it. You know, and I'm going to tell you something. Hollywood is a place where there's a cause celeb once every 5 years and then it goes away. Like, for instance, back in the late 80s, it was the Native Americans. You had Dances with Wolves. I think that was in the early 90s. You had Son of the Morning Star TV series. Melissa Matheson did the teleplay for it. And it was good. It was, I mean, pretty educational. I'm a very objective viewer of history, so when I talk about Native American history, I'm going to look at it as somebody who's very detached and just looking at what happened. Not a bleeding heart. Can't be. Because when you start peeling back the layers of that, you're going to find out that the people who were the victims were the bystanders, the bystanding Native Americans, who are the women and the children, and the settlers, the Germans, the Irish, Norwegian, you name it, who came across the Atlantic to find more opportunity. They didn't expect to be in the middle of that, you know. But I don't want to talk about the Indian Wars. But anyway, there was a big cause celeb back then. Then it disappeared. Then we had Free Tibet. Melissa Matheson, again, was the leader of that group. And it took Hollywood by storm. Where is it now? You know, you've got China actually, I think, now building camps and throwing Tibetans into them. And Hollywood says nothing. Richard Gere says he can't get a job anymore because the Chinese look at him as a dangerous enemy of theirs because of his stance for what they've done to the people of Tibet. All right, the Chinese are not good people. They're not. Their government is, you know, but again, Hollywood has this weird habit of a cause celeb and then it disappears. Like Roman Polanski. He won Best Director for, yeah, you're right, Eastland. He won Best Director for The Pianist. Now he's being canceled in France, and you don't really bring him up because, you know, Me Too. Me Too is starting to fade. All right. Now we got this SJW. Please make sure 90% of the people in the movie are trans, bisexual, gay, lesbian, questioning, or queer, whatever that means. Because we want to see people like us represented and only people like us represented. And we're not creative enough because we were never allowed to have an imagination. We're not allowed to have imaginations to, I'm talking about those people, to actually explore and create our own stuff. So we have to take everybody else's stuff and shit all over it. We'll see how long this lasts. Started in 2012, heavy duty. But you could see it happening ever since Howard Cosell was canceled from Monday Night Football. You know, it's a fact that I'm going to tell you guys something about the left. They have no idea what context is or objectivity. All right. If they did, we wouldn't be sitting here having these goddamn conversations, would we? Okay. Here's the deal. The thing that makes Joe Rogan appealing to those of us that like to just listen to nice conversations and pisses these lefty fart blossoms off is those are objective conversations about subjects they are ignorant of, and they're trying to find something that offends them for no reason at all. You could have him talking to an anthropologist and one of these fuckers would be offended. You could have Bill Burr talking about a glass of ale and these fuckers would be offended. Yeah, and it's, you know, it is really interesting to me to watch how this is being played out. And I'm taking a completely different tack because we don't know what's going on right now. I just saw Geeks and Gamers put something about Jon Favreau facing whatever. I'm gonna go watch that, I think, when I'm gonna be on here for another 6 minutes. Okay. But really, what happens on the 9th is maybe the tipping point if Kennedy's not done before. You know, I don't think that Lucasfilm or Disney can handle any more of this stuff. In my opinion, they're getting excoriated right now. Now, maybe the video I'm talking about is clickbait, or maybe not. But I don't see Jon Favreau being in trouble. Gotta remember, he's got Kevin Feige. Okay, Kevin Feige is doing a Star Wars movie. Kevin Feige can't be happy with Kennedy right now. Who carries more weight at Disney? Bob Iger's little golden boy or the Wicked Witch of the West? Think about it. These are the things that people aren't mentioning. Is where's Feige in all this? He has a Star Wars movie coming out. It would behoove us to maybe ask around to see what he says, okay? Because, I mean, you can't deny what's going on in the YouTube channels. You can't deny the Facebook comments. You can't deny any of it. The only place where she says Kennedy thinks she has any power and can point to is Twitter, and it's bullshit. And you'd have to be a real goddamn dumb son of a bitch to believe that all that's real. Okay? And I'm going to tell you something. Mortimer Buckley isn't stupid. He's a Harvard MBA. Larry Fink isn't stupid. He's a UCLA MBA. Ron O'Hanley isn't dumb. He's a Harvard MBA. La, 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 la. Okay? So, if she finally gets, if they can pry her fingers away off of her bed frame, get her dressed and march her out in front of the investors, we might have some movement. Because those guys ultimately are the ones that say, get out of here. All right? I mean, and I'm going to caution people that Kathleen Kennedy, I don't believe, is nearly the powerful woman that she was. I think it's very easy for people to jump to that conclusion. But in lieu of all the shit that's happened over the last 8 fucking years, I find it very fucking unbelievable that she's Miss Popular, that she's Miss Powerful anymore. You know, it looks like the woman either knows she's not going to get her contract renewed or knows she's gone anyway after what she did. They can't possibly let her destroy what John is trying to build because that's the only way they get the fuck out of this mess. They can't. And hopefully the Bobs are smart enough to know that. But I'm going to tell you something. Don't put your trust in them. Put your trust in the investors. They look at what's going on. They have to come in and objectively and protect the people they're making money for. And those are the people you got to watch. Because ultimately it's their pockets that Kennedy's picked. It's the billions that have been left on the table because Kennedy wouldn't do it the right way. It's her fucking fault and no one else's. Okay, it's my fault for not liking something that they made. My filet mignon restaurant analogy is dead on accurate. You serve me up a plate of cold horse shit. I don't want cold horse shit. I didn't order that. What the hell is this? Oh, I get to eat it and like it, or I'm out, or it wasn't what? Made for me? To the words, I have more money and more insurance than you do, so fuck off. Okay? Mean anything to you? Go get woke, go broke then, bitch. That's my opinion. All right? Got a woman who's almost 70 years old. I honestly, I think probably what keeps her face together from crumbling. Yeah, it is. Kennedy's business model is burn all the money. Kennedy's hate and anger and avarice and pride and abject hubris in the face of this disaster she's created is the only thing keeping her together. Think about that. Think about what a miserable, awful woman she is. Hey, Supreme Heretic. Think about what a miserable woman she is. Think about it. Think about how miserable she must make everybody around her. Or she surrounds herself with people who are just as miserable as her, so they can all be miserable together. Let's go to that party. I want to do that. Can you imagine celebrating Thanksgiving with her? Can you really? It would all be patriarchy this and women that, and, you know, poor Frank goes out, takes his dog for a walk on the beach to get away from her. You know, I mean, that's Kathleen. I mean, it's not far from the truth. So if the rumor is true that they are trying to get her to address the investors, they're getting ready to get rid of her. Oh, I know, that is Supreme. That is the sad truth. But I'm going to tell you something. That shit has a way of coming back at the person who did it. The backstabbing of George, destroying his creation, his baby, the promises she made that she broke intentionally. This is gonna come back and bite her in her bony ass. Okay. This miserable creature built the world that she's gonna live in for the rest of her life. All right? Think about it. What holds her together? Bitterness, hatred, anger, childishness, hubris, narcissism. You know, yeah, karma. I mean, there are other words for it in Judeo-Christian theology, but you gotta treat people right. You have to treat people right. Your friends who have been loyal to you, you have to take care of them too. And if you don't, if you backstab them, if you were merely using them, which is what she was doing, you're gonna pay for it. And you might end up paying for it in this life. And you might end up paying for it in this life. Oh, I hate them too, Supreme. Rhino Republicans are the reason why I'm not a Republican anymore. I am a unaffiliated voter because of them. But anyway, and I worked for Dick Armey at once. Yeah, consequences. She has to start to feel the consequences of her actions. The fact that she was able, I mean, really, every time I think about it, and it's going to come out. It's going to come out how this all happened. But really, I don't think any of these people, except for Pedro, are signed to any deals right now for Mandalorian Season 3 at all. I don't think, just a minute, I don't think that so I don't think you could call what happened to Gina being fired necessarily. It's more like being told that she's not coming back. I think the cherry on the shit sandwich was her talent agency, her agent dumping her, which is fucking, bullshit. I mean, if you're a talent agent and you worked with that woman closely, you'd know that she wasn't a bad person. And you'd probably even know the context of what she was trying to say. It's just virtue signaling, dogpiling, gay shit like that. And I'm sorry, I can't do that. Sorry for using the word gay. Not really. Anyway, I'm, waiting for the other shoe to drop with her, to be honest, with Kennedy, because it's all very, very quiet right now. And it's very, very strange on Gina's side. I'm going to say this and let you guys go. Gina, as perfectly well as I do, has been offered other interviews. I wouldn't doubt Megyn Kelly asked her to come on her podcast. I wouldn't doubt OANN, Newsmax, Fox, Sean Hannity, Tucker Carlson, Laura Ingram's, anybody at Fox. I wouldn't doubt that. Other journalists, Breitbart News, whatever, because they would. The two hit pieces on her lately were just bigoted, racially motivated. We hate Italians and we think they're all mobster shit. I mean, that's what that was. My husband's half Italian. His mother's full Italian. What does NDT mean, John? And what they were insinuating about Gina was just ugly. I mean, it was just really, really, really ugly. And I think I thought that stereotype of Italians was long dead, but apparently if you're Gina Carano and your family's successful, Well, Eastland, again, listen, she's not doing any other interviews. That, I mean, that is neither here nor there, okay? She basically dropped a nuke on them. And I think she dropped a warning. She basically said, in no uncertain terms, don't say lies about me and try to destroy me with lies. If the truth, if the truth about you will, because the truth about you will destroy you. Paraphrasing. Who is she talking to? I know. Kathleen Kennedy. That's who she was talking to. Absolutely talking to. So we got Gina being quiet, not doing any more interviews. We've got Favreau being quiet. We've got Bill Burr uncomfortably trying to change the subject from his two dumbass friends on his podcast. We got all this other stuff going on. Kennedy nowhere to be found. There's shit going down and it's hitting the fan. But anyway, I gotta go. I gotta pay. My horse is bored. I gotta get gas in my car. So I will see you guys around the galaxy. Behave. Be well. Okay. Well, I'll talk to y'all later.